How are we doing, everybody?
Hola,
Welcome to another episode of Get Jiggy With It. I'm Will.
I'm Adri.
And what are we playing today?
Dreams of Yesterday.
Dreams of Yesterday, which is in a tiny little box over there, not the box you see behind us. We will be doing another stream right after this one, which is Streams of Tomorrow. This is Dreams of Yesterday, which is currently up on Backerkit. So, of course, link down below if you want to, back this game. It is a small little, they call it a micro set collection game because it is a small game of cards in a small box, which we like because you can take them places with you when you're waiting for your dinner to arrive, although lately our dinner's been arriving pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it's a small little game where we are trying to build out our museum with the cards. I'll read the flavor text just to give you guys an idea of where this game fits in. I think it's supposed to be a very thematic to the last game, which has you deal with, I think, the future. And this one here is the future's gone bad, so we're going back to the past to fix it. Through museums. With that said, we'll go ahead and flip over the camera and give a brief rundown of how to play. All right, so we are set up for a two-player game of Dreams of Tomorrow, or Yesterday. We're playing Yesterday. And why is that?
Because we are two
museum
exhibitors,
curators, as it would be.
Curators.
So yes, we are two museum curators. It says the future has fallen. There's more than one idea on how to fix time, and the curators believe the way towards salvation can be found from learning from the past. It's a set collection game where we're gathering resources, gaining artifacts, forming exhibits, and the one with the most impactful exhibit will win. So as you can see, this is the entire game setup. It is just cards. It shows on the cards a little meeple. So I guess if you want to have a meeple for your own reference to know where you're moving. But basically, on a player's turn, they can choose cards in a clockwise fashion, basically on the rondelle, 2 away from where they are. So the first player will start here in this blank spot, which means I can choose this card, or if I can afford to pay for this card, which you can see up at the top, then I could take this card. The way you pay for cards is with the resources that you acquire. So we have 3 levels in our museum. First level is just our resources. Second is our exhibit that we started with, and me and Audrey started the same exhibit. And then the bottom row is where we can build another row for our exhibit. Some of the items are pretty self-explanatory because they're single items. Some of them do have 2 items, and the key in this game is to try to keep matching things together, because you're going to earn points based on having the same items together in your row. So over here, the cards that I had to take out, and unfortunately none of these match. Oh, there we go, that one matches. So say this dinosaur was out there, the little triceratops, and I wanted to buy him. I could either tuck him under on this side, or I can put him on this side. You can only ever have one of the bonus action spots available. This one here, for example, lets me move an extra space. This one here allows me to move any direction. I can spend a resource to buy any card on this one. So each one of them has different abilities. We'll go over them as we need to. But I could basically buy this one if I had a money or books. It looks like money, but books and money. Money's purple, books are green. Maybe the color should have been the other way around. And then I can add this to my exhibits. I can keep adding on both sides as much as I want. If I get something like this, like the chest here, which I think there was one over here. This is a wild, and it is the best way, the best spot to start your row over. Basically, if I put that there, this now counts as 3. Okay. And then I could get a red item. I happen to have all the cards I need over here. And I can add that there on a following turn. And now I have a set of 3 and I have a set of 2. The actual trunk counts as both sides that it's touching. So it's a good thing to kind of make your start over. The other way, of course, that you could start over would be with one card like this, where it's 2 different items. I could tuck that under here, and then I could add this one to the left of that. So you can keep building left and right as far as we want to.
So this one here would not count as 3 of these ones, because
that'd be 2. This would start it over as 1, and then he'd be 1, and then he'd be 1. Okay. Yep. So then you build out your exhibits. Same thing as, like I said, you could build another set of exhibits down underneath. And we're going to keep doing that until we get through that deck the first time. After we get through the deck the first time, then we're going to shuffle in, not the 5 cards that I have sitting over here. I had to take those out for a 2-player game. But we're going to shuffle in these urns. So these are the leftover urns after I took out the 5 cards. We'll shuffle them in. This is then going to be one of the in-game triggers. So we will then add an urn to our row at the end of our row. That basically locks in that exhibit. That exhibit can't get any more cards added to it. You cannot move those cards around because there are certain abilities that let you move your cards around. But it is going to be used for in-game scoring. So each urn at the bottom has a set point value, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. But then it's also going to have some type of value based on your set collecting ability. So if I had a pink portrait, the little orange animales, and the bones, for every set of those, they don't need to be touching, just if I have those in my exhibit, then I get 6 points. Example here, I'd get 1 point for every single one of the dinosaurs in my exhibit that this is in. It's the same exhibit that this one is in. All right. The other thing you can do is, again, you only get to normally go 2 spots. There may be abilities like mine here that allow me to go 1 more, or you can spend 1 resource to go 1 further. So on my first turn, say I was first player, I could only do these 2 cards, but I could spend 1 resource to then get this card. So it is a rondelle clockwise instead. The other thing you can do is all of these cards are double-sided. Down in the bottom corner, it shows you what is on the other side. Similarly, you can spend 1 resource to flip over any of these cards. So say, I know I can't buy this right now, but I could use those resources. I could go ahead and spend a resource to flip this one over, and then that would give me the card that's on the other side. If there are 2 resources or more on a card and you don't need them all, so for example, I wanted to buy this animal here. He cost 1 set of books. You lose the trophy. You don't get anything back for spending more than what it costs to actually buy those exhibits. That's basically it. So yeah, so the 2 ways the game can end is either once somebody has their 2 urns in their 2 exhibits, or if we have no way to refill the actual marketplace, the middle row here, because there are no more cards in the discard pile for us to do that. That is it. So we do need to decide who goes first. How do we do that?
With our 20-sided Extra Life die, because we support Children's Miracle Network through Extra Life with donations.
Donations.
And you can also donate for the niños.
Para los niños.
Using the links down below.
Link down below, or we do have it over in the, not that side, this side. Yeah, that way. In the chat over that way. It's this way for me, but it's that way for you guys. We did just make our first goal of $200, so I did get my t-shirt in. Oddities is on the way. We should be really close, I believe, to the 250 goal, which is going to be our first giveaway. It's taken us so long to do the Marvel Zombies. That's probably now just going to be our first $250 giveaway. So, of course, if you guys want to know when we announce that giveaway, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified when that video gets uploaded. With that said, I am always odd. Oddity is always even.
Here I go.
She did not destroy either of our museums. That is 13. That is odd. That means I get to go first. So I am here, so I can go 2 spots. I can't buy that, so it just makes sense to get this. And then I will take this card and choose which way I want to put it in the spot that I just left. I think I'll do it this way. All right, so you are starting there. There, we can use the Extra Life die so we know where we are.
So
you can either do this one or this one.
This one.
You can't afford that one, which is why I didn't take that one.
This one.
That makes more sense.
Because I can pay one.
No, money's just free. You just take the money.
I want the money.
All right. And then you choose. You can either put the book side up, or you can put the exhibit side up here.
Oh, so here we have exhibit and resources?
No.
Or what is this?
This is the ability that one has, which is an inherent resource, which means that you automatically have 1 money on each of your turns. I forgot Oddities. She actually, at the beginning of her turn, she can flip any card in the story. So technically you could have flipped this over if you would have rather gotten money and a book. I forgot about your ability. Same thing, I could have actually taken that one. Would you have rather gotten a money and a book instead of just the money?
Okay.
All right, so Audrey used her ability, so she took the money and the book. Means this goes here.
No.
That stays there. This goes there. Yeah, because you were there. There we go. All right. Look at that. Already messing up on the first play, which is not unusual for us.
Normal. It's normal.
That's normal. So I have the plus movement, so I can go up to 3. So I'm actually just going to go 1. I'm going to take that, and it gives me some more money. And then do that there.
So
Again, you always have the ability to flip. But
what is a trophy?
The trophy is just another resource.
Oh, see.
So you have the ability to flip, or you can buy either one of these. Because you can afford
I
either
can
one
buy
of those.
this one with this one.
Yep, so you discard that.
Discard
Nope.
Discard that.
Yeah, I don't know how we'll discards that way. That way you know it's the discard. All right, so Audrey went here. And she added it, so you still get to keep your old ability. And now you just kind of have 2 rows, 2 different directions you can go. Yeah, bring it into... We probably are going to have to zoom out. I thought I had us in here enough, but these may get pretty big pretty quick. All right, and then fill in your spot to your left. Nope, choose which way. Do you want the books or do you want what's on the other side, which are exhibits? Exhibits? All right.
Oh, you can buy that. Oops.
I'm going to get this one. I'm just going to start a new row with it, which now gives me an innate dollar each turn. But I did have to spend that. And I think I'll go with that. Resources are muy importante. At least I feel like they're very important at the beginning of the game. So again, you have the choice to flip or the choice to just take, and again, you can flip as well if you're, not to say you want to mess me up. I don't know if technically what would or would not mess me up, but you can flip as well.
I cannot afford it, so I'm gonna get the books.
Okay. And you can either leave it as the artifact or the whatever's. So there's 2 artifacts on that one. It has 1 on each side. So some of them will have artifacts on both sides. Some will just be artifacts or resources. All right. Which is fine for me. So I'm going to lose my books because I can't do anything with them. But I am going to buy a dinosaur. And I don't know what's more beneficial, the flip ability or the extra move ability. That flip does seem good, but the extra move means you can go 1 more space. They both seem so good.
They do.
I think the flip is better because then I have the choice of resources, or if, like, for example, this one's a wild, I could flip it over and maybe be able to afford it. Necesita más resources. Now the flip, so with the flip, you can actually flip any card. It doesn't have to be the 2 that is closest. You could flip any of them over to another side.
With
the flip ability, yeah. Not to say flipping this over would help you or not, but if you think about it, you can take from these 2, and depending where you go, I'd be able to take from the next 2 or so forth.
Yeah,
so
but they both are good for you.
Yeah, but maybe you could mess me up by flipping over to something else, right?
So I would like to get that, but I don't have the trophy, so I need a trophy.
I choose that one.
Oh shit!
Audrey's just destroying the history line here. All right, and then which side do you want that on? All right, so hand me those. All right. So I don't know how you're supposed to shuffle. The game's instructions didn't tell you, like, should you make some of the urns face up? Should you make them face down? Should you make some of the cards face up, some face down? Like, it didn't explain shuffling these cards since both sides have something on them. So yeah, I don't know. So we're gonna say I shuffled those in, and it is what it is. So in a 2-player game, like I said, there were 5 cards taken out, so it should make it go a little bit quicker towards the end game. But we should start having some urns come out. Pero es mi terno. I do not have any books. And I covered up my +3.
You don't have any resources.
I don't have any. Well, no, I have money.
Oh,
I do have money because that comes with my special ability here.
But nothing costs money.
No, nothing. Everything costs books. So I do have my flip ability, so I can get me money with. Oh no, there's no money on that one. There's no money on that one. There's only money back there. Oh, yeah, but I can only go this way. I can't afford any of those, and I can't go 3. So I do have this, which is an always resources. Oh no, I can only use this for paying for an artifact. All right, if I cannot buy anything, there's something I'm supposed to do if you can't buy anything. Oh, okay. If the only artifacts are available within 2 spaces, does not wish to buy them, they may draw cards from the deck until reaching a resource card. Okay, so I basically draw until I reach a resource card. That is not a resource card. That is a resource card. All right, so those go there. These get discarded. And then the player then flips the card 1 or 2 spaces from the starting position and places it in their starting position. All right, so I'm going to flip. Flip this one. Okay, tutarno.
I wanted that one. Wish William.
And you don't have enough books to get the other one. Lo siento, es mi culpa.
If I got this one, I mean, I know I cannot afford it right now, but could I
It
put it?
would cover that one. So you would lose the flip ability. Then you would be starting a new row with the portraits.
Okay, your museum and my museum.
Well, this doesn't need to be all visible. I mean, you can put these however you want them, just so you know you have them. All right, so it goes there. All right, and then which way do you want that one?
This is like the points that it gives you.
That's points if you have that set in that row. And then this is the points for just having it in your row. So you get 1 on that one by default, and then you'd get 6 points if you have 1 of each of those in your row. I can't afford that either. I do the ability to flip, which would give me more money, but we need books. Well, I can afford this guy though. All right, so get him. And I'll put him on this side. And that urn's not going to help me. Okay. Here to slay or last fish. CT saying here to slay or last fish. They're very similar.
Here to slay.
I would probably say here to slay. Here to slay.
I'm going to start a new one here. Oh, no. Could I do this? No. See.
You have to spend the $1 though.
Oh,
going to lose an extra dollar or lose your trophy?
I guess the extra dollar.
Extra dollar. Yes, you
Wait,
can put
this,
that. Yes, you can put
can
that.
I put always
Yes.
on top of or
Underneath.
under?
Left is under, right is on top.
Okay, I'm gonna put it
Yep.
here.
Yep, that's fine. And fill. So you can either fill with the wild or the other side's got money and a trophy. Alright. I'm in the same boat again. I can't buy either of those two artifacts. So, since I can't buy any of them, I will draw until I get a resource. That is not a resource. That is not a resource. That is not a resource. So now I gotta shuffle. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, like, if they're all not resources on this side. See, that's not a resource, not a resource. There's resource. But I was saying, like, if none of these would have been resources face up, when do you flip the cards when you shuffle? Like, should you randomly flip a couple of them? Like, that's. I guess we'll bring that up, I guess, on our first impressions. But yeah, it's kind of weird. All right. Then I can choose to flip one of these two. Go flip this one. I have a lot of monies, and the money I don't think is used for much. What was the money used for? This card used money. I haven't seen many that needs
I
money.
used money on books.
Oh, okay.
And money. See, money is important.
Just not right now, because nothing needs money.
I don't want to spend my trophy with my money plus a book. William.
Remember, you do have the flip. So the flip would flip these two, or any of them. Really, you can flip any of them, but these two that are closest to you, it'd flip them over to an urn, and it does cost you have to buy the urn too. So this urn is actually perfect for you.
Because they have
because that's what you have in that row.
But I will have to pay everything.
Basically. But in that row, you can't add anything else to it, but it would be giving you 2, 6. So this would give you 8 points on that row, plus 3, plus 3. That's a really good card for you.
I'm gonna trust you.
Okay.
I'm poor again.
So that goes at the end of your row. So that now
So
ends
now
that row.
Okay.
That row. Now you have to start your next exhibit. And then do you want that face up or face down?
Guess face up. Here or here?
There. Yeah, where you came from. All right. So if I flip this, that will give me money. Is it 1 money? 1 money. I don't need more money because I have free money already. So I think I'm just going to take this one. All right. And then... I think I'm gonna go with that. I think we're gonna go with that. Let's see. Oh, I need. Yeah, so I'm gonna flip this, and I'm gonna take this. I need 3 of the same kind. I have 2, and then the one on here counts as 3. Whoops. No, I don't want this yet. Dang it.
There is a bug on this card.
No, I don't want this yet. Never mind. Hang on. I forgot I'd be putting it here, and that would end that row. I couldn't do anything on this row. That's not a good idea. It's good later, not right now. But do I want that instead? Because what I need is dinosaurs down here. Yeah. I really want this other side now because I was so close to it. That's fine. I'll just do this. Discard that. So I lose my money, but now I can, for one resource, take any card. Spend a resource to buy any. The player may pay any artifact in the histories, but they must spend an extra resource to do so. Okay, so I can buy anything, but I have to spend one more resource than what it costs. So for example, if I want to buy this, I've got to spend this plus one more resource, basically.
That's what this, what it means that
This, yep, this symbol. It's very weird because it's got that up down. It almost seems like you can move anywhere and take one. No, it's just I can buy from anywhere, but I have to spend one extra resource.
Nothing costs one book.
Nope. Yeah, you have no abilities anymore because you got your urn there. So pretty much that's what you got. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I guess I'm taking the money or the books. I keep thinking the green is the money. It's the books.
What you mean?
That starts you your next row.
Sí, pero I lose my monies.
Sí, un poquito.
Un poquito. I lost my monies.
Yeah, like I don't know, like okay, is it just shuffle and you flip and you shuffle and you flip and you shuffle? Like here it says shuffle the deck, but I don't think it says anything about face up, face down. Yeah. Using layouts. Ending the game. Where's it talk about shuffle? Whenever the draw pile is out, shuffle discard pile to create a new draw pile. First time the discard is shuffled, put in the urn cards, Uno cards. Will now be possible to draw from the deck. It doesn't say. It doesn't say if they're supposed to say that way the whole time or not. But I mean, problem is then you're stuck with getting the same cards.
Yeah.
So you want resources or wild?
I want.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it's your turn.
No.
See? Oh no, I took the money. You're right.
It's like you were asking me.
I was asking you. I thought it was that you had just gone. Okay. The terno.
Now you can go anywhere, but you have to pay +1. What does this mean?
Oh, and you also don't forget you had the flip. So you took the hang on, put that back real quick. You took the single, but if you would have flipped this, you would have gotten that plus money.
Yes.
So if you would have flipped that one, go on there instead. Now choose what you want to do with that.
What does this mean?
To buy this, you need to have 3 of the same resource or 1 of each. Okay. Man, I have so much money and I can't do anything with the money. Flip that. Take that. That. And oh, you've already got that. You've got that urn as a resource, don't you? The one that I wanted. I think it was this one. Yes, dang it.
I don't know, you told me to get it.
I mean, it'll eventually come back out. I mean, it'll come out once we shuffle again, or once you spend it. All right, that's fine. I need to have a pair here to get points, so I'll turn that into a pair. You don't like that you got to keep spinning all of your
What?
other side. Yep.
No, I don't like to spend all of my things and then get poor.
I have my money and I can't do anything with my money because nothing costs money.
This is hard.
Because we need resources. So it's like we're not even putting out the wilds because we need the resources. I think these cost the same. Yep. They cost the same. These are all the wilds. Look, wild. They're all the wilds. I was double checking. Or they do all? Yeah. So all wilds cost 3 of the same resource, or three of the same resources, or 1 of each. So what resources do I want? I think I'll do money. I don't know if we're both going to get urns out or not, because we've only got 2 cards left. You basically have to take the resources. Because flipping this is just going to be a wild card that you can't afford. Unfortunately, that's the card I want, but I don't have the money. I keep saying money again.
Books.
Books. We'll definitely bring that up in our first impressions.
You know what? In Colombia, the highest bill is purple. So
is
for
it?
me, yeah.
Oh, so for you,
50,000 pesos. Well, not the highest now; it's 100. But
for you, seeing the
so the purple
from money is okay. Oh, good point. Guess I'm going. That's all I can do. Shuffle the book or shuffle the book, which this is what I said. Like I don't get what you're supposed to like. Am I supposed to flip and shuffle?
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't say there anything about it, so we're just going to say no. I'm supposed to just shuffle. So it's a book or a book.
Me? No, tú. Who?
Yep. So.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? What did you
I
get
just
now?
went there. I just went from there to here. Took this and filled back in. So it's your turn.
That's all I have. All my savings.
All right. You want a book or do you want the other side? This is probably the last. There's probably like maybe 2 turns left in the game. All right. So I'm going to use my ability. So that means I can buy from anywhere. I just need to spend 1 extra resource, which for me is fine because I was going to have to do that anyways because there's an extra resource in that card. So that gets me the urn.
What happens if you don't get that? This does not make points without.
No. They still make points for the set, so you still get that. See, like here, we've got all resources and no.
I think you have to. I mean, collect them all and then shuffle again.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it seems weird. That seems like something that should be explained. Like even during the setup, it didn't explain how to
or
shuffle
get
the
on
cards.
shuffler.
Card shuffling. Yeah, but it would only do good if it shuffled and reversed.
Does not do that.
See now it's like I wish I had this down here because I didn't get that other urn that I wanted.
Mm, 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 mm,
You pretty much have to take the money.
mm.
Well, or yeah, that gives you 2
This
resources.
one-
If you flip that, it would only give you 1 resource.
This one, if I put here.
Mm-mm.
See?
Mm-mm. You have to have both shown. You only cover up this part. He would go at the end of this one, but you can't add one there. But again, you can flip these over. I mean, these are flippable. You can flip anything. Well,
But yeah, that's only
well, no, yours is
ones.
you just change yours to being able to do what I can do, which is buy anywhere. So
Too many books? We cannot afford that.
all right. Oh, of course, that's going to need 2 trophies. There is one of the cards. It makes. Oh, you had it earlier. It made money wild, or the books wild. So there's some that just makes a particular. So like if I could have made this wild. I mean, I could have made these books. And I'd be good to go. He calls 2 books. Yeah, I think this is it because we're not going to be able to refill before I think either one of us is going to be able to buy something. So I don't think it really matters what I do. Yeah. I think that's it because all you
Yeah,
do is
I
take
cannot
that.
buy.
You can't buy anything, and well, you might. Hang on. Nope, that needs 2 trophies and a. Well, you can't flip. You don't have the flip ability anymore.
Mm-mm.
Now remember, you do have this. You can buy from anywhere, but it costs 1 more resource. There, you could buy this. Oh, but you can't. You can't flip. You're right. You can't flip it. Never mind. Yeah, so that's it. That's end of game. All right. So now we got to do the scoring. All right. So let's find us a empty page and our handy dandy notebook. Notebook. All right. So this is Dreams of Yesterday. So we'll say Doi. We have Andri. We have Will. All right. So the first thing is we score our exhibits. So for every 1 counts as 1, 2 counts as 3, 3 counts as 6. So I have 3, 6 is 9. And then I get 3 here, which is 10, 11, 12. And then I get 1 per dino. 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 for my first exhibit.
Wait, so I have 6,
3,
3 and 3,
6, 7, 8.
7, 8.
And then you get 3 per set. You have 2 sets, so that's 6. So 6 and 8.
14.
6 and 8 is 14.
No. 20.
6 and 8. 6, 12, 13, 14. You get 3, 6. 3, 6, 7, 8. Plus 6. It's 14.
Isn't that? Oh.
It's not per.
Oh,
it's
it's per set. Okay.
So you have 1 set, 2 sets of those. So 14, right?
14.
Then the bottom, I get 1 and 3, so I have 4.
3 is 6. 6.
So Adri gets 3 is 6
20.
and 1, so that's 7.
No, 7.
Yep, so 7.
Oh, the one counts.
Yep, counts. So that puts Adri at 21. Adri's 21. I got 19. So Adri is the winner. Adri gets the extra life medal for winning the game. So we're going to go ahead and flip over and give our first impressions. And then, of course, we'll be back with Dreams of the other day. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So here we go, guys. That is Dreams of Yesterday, which, like I said, is currently up on Backerkit. Of course, everything here you see is a prototype. I would say subject to change, but a lot of times these little small card games are ready to print, right? But I have not been following with Backerkit, so I don't remember all the things they've unlocked. I don't like linen finish, stuff like that. So, of course, they may have already unlocked or done some of the things that we're going to mention, right? So the first thing is the components, which is the arts, the graphics, and, well, what the game is. What do you think of the components?
I love the art and the colors and the design of the cards. I think it is really nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really, it catches your eye.
Yes.
The cards are just standard card stock now. Again, I would think a linen finish or a thicker quality, of course, is always nice to have, but it's not a must-have. I don't think the little button shy pocket wallet games are really fancy cards in those. Can't remember. It's been a while since we played one. That is the case that they've been sending the prototypes in. They said that the box that will be coming in the actual game will be a little bit bigger, a little bit sturdier, because one thing, of course, is these rules don't fit in there right now. Other than that, components, I guess we'll go to the rule book as well. The two things that stood out to me was, and we kind of mentioned a couple times, is the shuffling. That doesn't mention in the rules the shuffling procedure, like how to shuffle this type of game when you can see two sides of the cards, or vice versa when the discard runs out, to shuffle it. Because if you think about it, most of the cards in the discard are going to be resources because you've been playing them that way. Now, I guess it doesn't truly matter because you can choose which side you want to put it on. So maybe that's why they didn't mention anything about shuffling, because it really doesn't matter, because once you put the card out, you're choosing anyway. So,
but don't you choose only if you have this?
No, you
you
always choose. So I think that's, I mean, that's why, but I think it's not mentioned in there because of that. And I think maybe just a slight little mention to say, when you shuffle, it doesn't matter what side you shuffle the cards.
Yeah, that would be nice. So
Something like that is fine, because that was kind of a little bit of a confusion. Something else with the rules is when it talks about the setup, it mentions taking 5 cards out, and then it mentions removing the urns. And for some reason, I had already removed the urns, so I had to put them back in, shuffle them again, then take the 5 cards out. It just seemed awkward. I don't know if it's just the way I read it or if it's the way it's worded in the rulebook. So I imagine they're going to clean all that up based on feedback from other players. Anything else with the components?
No, well, we mentioned about the meeple, but I don't know if...
Yeah, the meeple's confusing.
The meeple means you,
yeah,
the
it's
person.
Supposed to mean you, the person. The other game that they've got, so the Dreams of Tomorrow, you actually have a meeple. You move your meeple around.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was about to say the same thing, is it would be nice, I know they're trying to keep it a small box, but I don't think it would be too hard to put just one meeple. Just one little meeple in there to, one, make the iconography make sense. But we used our extra life die. Yeah, we used our extra life die to just kind of visually remember where we're moving to. Because, like, if we're like, okay, we took this card, if you forgot, I think that happened once. We're like, oh, wait a minute, which spot do we put it back in again? So I think a little mover would be nice.
That would be
something would be
that
nice.
would make sense. Yes.
Right.
You said about the color of the money.
Oh yeah, the color of the money in the books. For me, green is money, and that's an American thing. That's a U.S. thing. As Audrey mentioned.
I mean, I don't know if it is because
Colombia, you're used to seeing purple money.
Yeah, but I mean, I also understand that green is the color of the money, but I don't know if because I think of Estados Unidos,
well,
or
I think
if it is
most
the color
most countries, green is money. Like that's the way most people know green.
Yeah.
Is money. So I think having the books green and having the money purple is a thematic choice. But I shouldn't say it's a visual aesthetics choice. It's not a thematic choice. This has nothing to do with theme.
Yeah.
But I feel like the books, even still, the books are green. And for me, I would think, like, if I'm looking at books in like a library or a museum, they're usually like a reddish brown, like more of a burgundy brown or something like that, or tans and browns. And maybe that's not as attractive as green, which is, again, why I would say maybe if the money was purple, or the money was green and the books were purple. I think it's too late for them to change. I don't know how big of a change that would be, but it is something that was just, I kept calling the books money. I kept calling the books money. Next is the mechanics. The mechanics are really different. It is set collection, and you're building your exhibits. You're either gaining resources or gaining the artifacts from the same cards. You're using that rondel kind of worker placement, movement around to make your selection. You get some abilities. What did you think of all the mechanics?
Ooh, I love that you can choose and flip. Mm-hmm. And see what you need or what you can afford or what you don't want the other one to buy. So it's really nice. I think it's nice that you also have an ability, and it is up to you if you want to cover it or not.
Because you have to choose. Like, if you could say, I could put it on the left and the right,
Yeah.
But which ability do I want?
So yeah, you kind of can decide if you want to cover it or try to do something different. And
I
like
think
it
there's a lot of
is
strategy in trying to figure out, like you said, which cards to pick up, which
Yeah.
ones, and even times when you didn't want to use the ability for yourself, like the flip, you could use it to mess up your opponent.
I didn't do that.
I don't think I did it either, but you could.
But you could, which is nice.
Yeah.
This I love. I
The
thought, I
urns?
mean, yeah, because it helps make more points
Yeah.
for what you have.
I
But
think the only problem is you don't know what those urns are until later. And even if you did know what the urns are, for example, we had 4 urns that got pulled out of the 5 cards. 5 cards, 4 of them were urns. So you don't even necessarily know what urns are going in there, so you don't know how to build your exhibits until almost I don't want to say the second round, but the second phase of the game. So you don't really have objectives to go to, which is why I think I didn't go after any urns. And I think the only other thing that was kind of an issue was the wilds. Like, we never had 3 of a resource and the ability to flip these at the same time. So we never got to take advantage of the wild cards, which give you a benefit because they count as whatever's to the left and whatever's to the right. So they're really neat.
They are very expensive.
But we never had 3 different resources. I had 3 of the same resources once when I had the card that had the innate money. But I don't think at any time when these were available did we have 1 of each. Or maybe it was at that time I didn't want to buy that because it didn't make sense to put it where it is, because it wouldn't optimize that point pattern. Maybe.
What does this one mean? Books equals
That means books are a wild resource. Yeah. So most of these are very good while you have them visible because they count as a wild resource. So this one here, money, would count as a wild resource when buying cards. So yeah, so they are powerful. They are good. I just felt like we were always fighting just to get resources. Like, that's why we kept putting the resources face up, because it seemed like we were fighting for resources. So don't know if it takes more playthroughs to kind of get through that.
Probably.
Or whether we just completely played something wrong, which
Also
probably. Next is difficulty. What did you think of the difficulty?
I don't think it is difficult.
It says age is 8+. That's what it says. No, I don't think it's very difficult. I mean, it's like most set collection games. As long as you can match the cards, you're fine. One other nice thing, and we always forget to mention this, except for when we remember to mention it, is it is language independent. There's no language on it. Everything is iconography or icon related. So as long as you can give somebody, if they need, maybe for like the first gameplay, a player's aid that says what the abilities do, then that's pretty much all they need. But similarly, Adri didn't have a player aid that told her what the things did. I told her what the things did. So going back up to components, it'd be nice if there was like 4 extra cards in here that had the abilities on them. So components, player aids are nice.
Always nice.
Yeah, but I don't think it was too difficult. Fun at 2.
I love it at 2.
Yeah, the only difference at a higher player count is the market gets bigger. So it only goes to 3 players. So it's a 1 to 3 player game. So at 3 players, the market gets bigger, and you don't take out the extra cards. So all the cards stay in. That's really the only difference. I think the only thing I would say with this, the same way as most games, when you add an extra player and there's a market row and there's something moving, is that you could be planning your next move, but that's 2 moves away. So if Adri went and took this card and the next player takes 2 cards away, that's harder for me to plan those cards, right?
Yeah.
So that's just more randomness.
So you also, even with 3, you also move or can move up to 2.
Yeah, the row is 4 and 3 instead, but it's still, you just move 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing at a higher player count. I feel like this is a 2-player game. I feel like this is like a little head-to-head game that you're going against each other. And again, it's a small box game, which you would take with you places like a restaurant to just have something to do. Now, it does take up a little bit of room, So you need to make sure that you get the booth that fits 4 people, even though there's only 2 of you. All right, last thing is the theme. So the theme is 2 aspects. One is, did you thematically feel like you were doing what it said we were supposed to be doing? And the second is, do you like the theme of, well, what you were doing? In this case, a museum curator. I'm going to say the one part of the theme that didn't fit for me was that whole future thing made no sense to me.
No.
I did not get the future and that we were, trying to save time by building a museum. I get we were building a museum.
I think that, I mean, I like the theme, but I think that you actually built an exhibit, in my opinion, based on same category of things or type, but different. Like, it could be different pictures, but all with the red, pink background.
Oh, you mean so kind of go back to the components.
You don't have the exact same.
So going back to the components, have each one of these could have been a different art.
Yeah, like a different dinosaur.
Different dinosaur. That way it would be more thematic.
Yeah, because that's what an exhibit is.
For an exhibit would have different types of dinosaurs, and really you'd be matching the blue, so the set collection.
Exactly.
I get why they didn't, because again, you want to just show one icon for simplicity's sake.
Yes, but the color would help.
The color would solve that problem. You're right. The color would solve that, because then it's that same thing. No, I get the same thing as right. I was thinking the same thing as like, okay, I'm building an exhibit, but I'm putting 3 or 4 of the same thing in my exhibit. So it's just kind of weird. It really could be anything. Honestly, It could just be colors.
Yes.
Right? It didn't have to be us building an exhibit. I mean, adding a theme helps. So somebody who likes a set collection and they like museums and their artifacts, this would be more appealing than just match the pink, match the blue. Because our component review earlier would have been if these were just pink color, blue color, orange color, we would have been like, put some kind of art on there to make it.
Yes.
So it's not a bad thing. But no, I get what you mean. I like the theme. I like museums because I like going to museums. I like seeing history and all that stuff. And I get here where it's kind of saying, it's that adage, right? Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Some saying of that, right? So I kind of get that like, okay, they failed in the future, so they're going back in the past to fix it. But the whole time travel thing there's no time travel here. We're not physically time traveling or doing anything. We're building a museum.
I don't know if it is because you can actually always move forward. I don't know.
We're moving forward. That's the other thing. You're right. We're moving forward,
never
not backwards. Like maybe if the turn, instead of us going clockwise every time, we were going counterclockwise. So it's like you're going back in time. Maybe then you could add that time thing. The future and time thing, I think was put on there. Maybe it's to make it match the other game, which we haven't played yet, Dreams of Tomorrow. And maybe that's why it's just to kind of keep the two together, because they are very similar in the way they play. And we will be playing this, in about 1 minute ago when we should have started the other stream. So we will be stopping this here so we can go ahead and switch over to play Dreams of Tomorrow. If you want to watch future Kickstarter games and you want to help support Los Niños, what do they need to do?
Donate
to Extra Life para Los Niños.
Subscribe.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Activate notifications.
Then you get to know when we go live. Yep.
Follow us on social media.
Sure.
All that stuff.
But until next time, guys.
Adios.
Peace.